Hi everyone, today I want to take you on a little journey to a land that feels like it's straight out of a fairy tale, Iceland. Beyond its breathtaking glaciers, fiery volcanoes, and shimmering northern lights, Iceland holds a secret that many of us might not know about. It's a world of wonder, magic, and mystery, the world of the hidden people. In Icelandic folklore, these hidden people, or Huldufolk, are invisible beings who live among us, often in rocks, hills, and mountains. They aren't ghosts or evil spirits, they're more like magical neighbors, quietly watching over nature and protecting their homes. Imagine walking past a moss-covered boulder and knowing that, just maybe, someone magical is living inside it. Isn't that fascinating? What's really amazing is how seriously the Icelanders take these stories. People sometimes go out of their way to avoid disturbing areas believed to be homes of the hidden people. Roads have been rerouted, construction plans changed, all to respect these tiny guardians of the land. I love that. It's like an entire culture that blends modern life with old magic, reminding us to be gentle with nature and honor the mysteries around us. And it's not just stories from long ago. Many Icelanders today still believe in the hidden people. Children grow up hearing tales of their adventures, and artists draw inspiration from them in music, books, and paintings. It's incredible to see how folklore can stay alive, shaping the way people think and live, even in a world full of technology and skyscrapers. The hidden people also teach us a valuable lesson, that not everything in life is visible or explainable. Sometimes we just have to trust in what we cannot see, embrace wonder, and leave a little space for magic in our everyday lives. When you visit Iceland, it's easy to feel this magic everywhere, from the geysers that erupt like something out of a storybook, to the midnight sun that paints the sky in colors you didn't even know existed. So if you ever travel to Iceland, don't just look at the scenery. Take a moment to listen, imagine, and maybe even say hello to the hidden people. You might not see them, but you can feel their presence in the gentle sway of the grass, the quiet hum of the rivers, and the sparkling northern skies. Iceland is more than just a destination. It's a place where the ordinary meets the extraordinary, where magic lives quietly beside us, waiting to be discovered, and the hidden people. They're a beautiful reminder that the world is full of wonder if only we open our eyes and hearts to it. Iceland is a land that often feels like it was stitched together from the pages of a magical storybook, with landscapes that range from jagged volcanic mountains to soft, rolling fields covered in moss. But beyond the breathtaking natural scenery, there lies a deeper, more mystical layer to this country, one that has captured the imagination of both locals and visitors for centuries. At the heart of Icelandic folklore is the belief in the Huldufolk, or hidden people, who are said to live invisibly among the rocks, hills, and mountains that dot the landscape. These beings are not like ghosts or spirits in the traditional sense. Rather, they are magical entities who coexist alongside humans without necessarily revealing themselves. The stories of the hidden people have been passed down for generations, whispered from parents to children, shared around fires during long winter nights, and preserved in books, songs, and artwork. Their presence is woven into the very identity of Iceland, creating a bridge between the natural world and a realm of imagination and wonder. What makes the hidden people so captivating is that they are said to be remarkably similar to humans in appearance, though their abilities and nature set them apart. They can live for hundreds of years, move silently, and are incredibly protective of their homes. Rocks, cliffs, and hills that appear ordinary to the casual observer might actually house these mystical beings, and disturbing their dwelling places is considered a serious offense. Icelandic culture has long held that angering the hidden people can bring bad luck, misfortune, or even illness, which is why stories of construction projects being altered to avoid disturbing certain rocks or natural formations are common. Entire roads have been rerouted, and new buildings sometimes have foundations redesigned, all to respect the homes of the hidden people. It's a practice that might seem unusual to outsiders, but it highlights a profound cultural respect for the unseen and an acknowledgement that the land itself is alive with mystery. The hidden people are more than just a collection of myths. They are a reflection of the Icelandic connection to nature. The harsh landscapes of Icelandval, canos, geysers, glaciers, and geothermal springs demand a level of respect and understanding from anyone who lives there. In this context, the stories of the hidden people serve as a gentle reminder that humans are not the only inhabitants of the land, and that every rock, hill, and valley may hold secrets. The folklore encourages mindfulness, urging people to tread carefully and live in harmony with their surroundings. It's almost as if the hidden people act as guardians of the environment, teaching lessons about coexistence, humility, and the importance of paying attention to the world around us. Interestingly, belief in the hidden people is not confined to the past. Many Icelanders today continue to embrace these tales, often treating them as an essential part of their cultural heritage rather than mere superstition. Children grow up learning about the adventures and habits of these beings, imagining them as playful, mysterious, or even mischievous figures who sometimes interact with the human world in subtle ways. Artists, writers, and musicians draw inspiration from these legends, weaving the stories into modern expressions of Icelandic creativity. Tourist guides often share accounts of hidden people sightings, telling tales of mysterious footprints, unusual sounds, or inexplicable movements in the countryside, adding a sense of magic to any visit. Even skeptics find themselves charmed by the thought that an invisible world might exist alongside our own, hidden in plain sight. The appeal of the hidden people lies not only in their mystique, but also in the way they invite imagination and wonder. In a world that increasingly prioritizes logic, efficiency, and technology, the stories of beings living invisibly in nature remind us that there is still space for mystery, for questions without immediate answers, and for experiences that cannot be measured or explained. It's an invitation to slow down, observe the beauty of the land, and let curiosity guide us. People often feel a sense of calm and awe when walking past a mossy rock or gazing at a remote hill, knowing that according to folklore, someone or something may be watching over it. There is a quiet magic in that thought, a sense of connection to the unseen and the unknown, which adds layers of depth and meaning to the Icelandic landscape. The hidden people are also a testament to the richness of storytelling and oral tradition. Through centuries, these tales have been told and retold, adapting to the times while maintaining their core essence. They offer insights into the values, fears, and hopes of Icelandic society, showing how folklore can shape behavior, influence decisions, and strengthen cultural identity. The hidden people, in a way, embody the soul of Iceland itself, a mix of beauty, danger, mystery, and wonder that calls to the imagination of anyone willing to believe. Their presence encourages people to appreciate the extraordinary in the ordinary and to recognize that the world is filled with layers we may never fully understand, but that can still inspire, delight, and teach us about the delicate balance between humans and nature. One of the most fascinating aspects of Icelandic culture is the way the stories of the hidden people, or Huldufolk, are deeply intertwined with the way locals live and interact with their environment. Unlike many folklore traditions that exist purely in books or tales in Iceland, the belief in these invisible beings has influenced real-world decisions, shaping the way people build, travel, and even plan infrastructure projects. Roads are sometimes rerouted, buildings adjusted, and construction plans altered when it is believed that a particular rock, hill, or natural feature might be the home of the hidden people. This isn't seen as superstition or outdated thinking. It is a demonstration of respect for the unseen world that is thought to coexist alongside the human one. The practice reflects a cultural sensitivity to nature, a belief that every part of the land has its own story, its own guardians, and its own importance, and it emphasizes a level of mindfulness that is both beautiful and rare in today's fast-paced society. The idea that the land itself is alive with invisible inhabitants encourages Icelanders to pay attention to even the smallest details in their surroundings. A moss-covered boulder, a lonely hill, or a natural spring can all be considered sacred or inhabited by these magical beings. The concept promotes a sense of humility, teaching that humans are not the only ones living on this land and that coexistence requires awareness, patience, and respect. In many ways, these beliefs are a natural extension of Iceland's close relationship with its extraordinary environment. The country's landscape is harsh and sometimes unforgiving, with glaciers, volcanic mountains, geothermal activity, and sudden weather changes. And the folklore of the hidden people serves as a gentle reminder that survival and harmony require sensitivity to the world around you. The stories offer an ethical framework, suggesting that the natural world is not merely a resource for human use, but a living entity to honor and protect. The influence of the hidden people can also be seen in everyday life in Iceland. Families teach their children about these beings from a young age, not only as entertaining stories, but as moral lessons about kindness, respect, and careful observation. Children grow up imagining the hidden people at play or at work, moving quietly in the hills and rocks, and this imagination becomes a part of their world. It's a magical way of teaching awareness of the environment while fostering creativity and curiosity. Beyond family life, artists and writers often draw inspiration from the Huldufolk, portraying them in illustrations, novels, and music. Even contemporary Icelandic culture, which blends modern technology and innovation with ancient tradition, keeps the hidden people present in its consciousness. Tourist guides share stories of them to enchant visitors, and sometimes locals recount mysterious occurrences, unexplained sounds, footprints, or sightings near certain rock, adding a sense of wonder to the natural scenery. Interestingly, the belief in hidden people does not require full faith in the supernatural. Many Icelanders view these stories as part of their cultural identity, embracing the folklore as a form of heritage that connects the past to the present. They honor the traditions, respect the natural spaces, and allow the tales to guide behavior and decision, making in a way that is thoughtful rather than fearful. The presence of the Huldufolk offers a sense of magic and mystery in a world where so much is explained by science and reason. It reminds people that there are still things beyond understanding, and that imagination, wonder, and respect for the unseen can coexist with logic and progress. The stories of the hidden people also reveal how folklore can shape a society over centuries. They are woven into the moral fabric of Iceland, teaching values like patience, empathy, and mindfulness. By encouraging people to see significance in every stone and hill, the Huldufolk inspire a deep connection to the land, which in turn fosters environmental stewardship and cultural continuity. Even in modern times, when roads are constructed or homes are built, care is sometimes taken to avoid areas believed to be inhabited by these beings, demonstrating that the lessons of folklore can have practical applications. The hidden people serve as both guides and guardians, reminding Icelanders and visitors alike that the world is filled with mysteries and that acknowledging them can bring a sense of respect, beauty, and awe to daily life. Because the hidden people are seen as living alongside humans, they transform ordinary landscapes into places of wonder. A simple hill or a cluster of rocks can suddenly feel sacred, alive, and magical. This awareness shapes the way people move through the environment, the way they build, and the way they imagine life in a world where not everything is visible. It is a philosophy that blends caution with enchantment, practicality with imagination, and past with present. The cultural impact of these beings is profound, demonstrating that mythology and folklore are not just stories but ways of understanding, navigating, and interacting with the world in a way that is respectful, playful, and deeply connected to nature. The stories of the hidden people, or Huldufolk, in Iceland are not only fascinating from a cultural perspective, but they also reveal how folklore can inspire creativity and imagination across generations. These invisible beings are said to inhabit rocks, hills, and cliffs, moving quietly through the landscapes while remaining hidden from human eyes. For Icelanders, the tales are more than just bedtime stories. They are an essential part of growing up, shaping the way children perceive the world around them and encouraging them to explore their environment with wonder and respect. From a young age, children learn to imagine the presence of these magical beings, picturing them peeking from behind a moss-covered boulder, crossing rivers with great care, or tending to hidden gardens in secluded valleys. This imaginative exercise becomes a playful way to connect with nature, sparking curiosity and teaching subtle lessons about patience, observation, and empathy. The influence of the hidden people extends far beyond childhood. Many Icelandic artists, writers, and musicians find inspiration in these legends, allowing the stories to inform their creative work in a way that is both modern and deeply rooted in tradition. Paintings often depict ethereal landscapes where faint figures of the hidden people can be glimpsed among rocks or mist, while novels weave intricate tales in which these beings interact with humans in mysterious or magical ways. Musicians sometimes compose pieces that aim to capture the subtle presence of the Huldufolk, translating the quiet magic of Icelandic folklore into melodies that are soft, mysterious, and enchanting. Even contemporary filmmakers and storytellers incorporate these beings into their work, blending old beliefs with modern technology to create narratives that feel timeless yet relatable. This ongoing inspiration illustrates how folklore can remain alive and relevant, bridging generations and connecting people to their cultural roots while encouraging artistic expression. One of the most charming aspects of the hidden people is how they teach values through their stories. In many tales, the Huldufolk are protective, wise, and cautious. They often reward humans who respect nature and act kindly, while those who show arrogance, carelessness, or disrespect might face minor misfortune or gentle reprimand. This moral framework is subtle yet powerful, emphasizing lessons about coexistence, respect for the environment, and the importance of understanding that humans are only one part of a larger, interconnected world. The stories suggest that there is value in slowing down, observing carefully, and considering the impact of one's actions on others, whether visible or invisible. In this way, the Huldufolk serve not only as figures of imagination, but as guides for ethical and mindful living. The presence of the hidden people also encourages a sense of wonder and magic in daily life. When Icelanders walk through the countryside, they are often aware of the possibility that these beings are nearby, quietly inhabiting hills, rocks, and streams. This awareness transforms ordinary landscapes into enchanted spaces, where every mossy boulder or secluded cliff might conceal a secret. It encourages people to pay attention to the subtleties of nature, the movement of grass in the wind, the sound of water over stones, or the shifting patterns of sunlight on rocks, and to see beauty and significance in what might otherwise appear ordinary. This perspective fosters a deep connection with the environment and a sense of reverence for the mysteries that exist beyond human perception. Tourists visiting Iceland are often captivated by the idea of the hidden people, and local guides frequently share stories about areas believed to be inhabited by these beings. From unexplained footprints and mysterious sounds to rocks that seem to appear or disappear in unusual ways, these tales add a layer of intrigue to Iceland's already stunning landscapes. Visitors often find themselves looking at the hills and cliffs differently, imagining the Huldufolk moving silently through hidden paths, and this imaginative participation enhances their experience of the country. It is a reminder that Iceland is not only a place of physical beauty, but also a realm of cultural richness, where folklore and reality intertwine in ways that inspire curiosity, creativity, and a sense of magical possibility. The stories of the hidden people also highlight the enduring power of oral tradition. For centuries, these tales have been told and retold, passed down from one generation to the next, adapting to changes in society while retaining their core essence. They demonstrate how folklore can shape collective identity, influence behavior, and maintain a sense of continuity in a rapidly changing world. The Huldufolk are a testament to the idea that imagination, respect, and cultural memory can coexist with modern life, encouraging Icelanders and visitors alike to embrace wonder, honor nature, and appreciate the subtle mysteries that make the world feel alive and magical. The hidden people of Iceland, or Huldufolk, offer not only a glimpse into folklore, but also a profound way of seeing the world that blends imagination, respect, and connection to nature. One of the most compelling aspects of these beings is how they encourage people to live with awareness and mindfulness. In Iceland, the stories of the hidden people are not just tales told for entertainment. They are reminders to notice the details around us and to consider the unseen life that may inhabit every hill, rock, and stream. This perspective transforms the act of walking through a landscape into a richer experience. When someone strolls along a moss-covered path or gazes at a remote cliff, there is a sense that the land itself is alive, holding secrets and magic just beyond the limits of our vision. The hidden people invite people to look closer, to slow down, and to interact with the world in a way that is gentle, curious, and respectful. This cultural awareness extends to the way Icelanders manage their environment. There are numerous accounts of construction projects being altered to avoid disturbing the dwellings of the hidden people. Roads may curve around a particular rock, or building foundations may be redesigned to preserve a hill thought to house these beings. It is a practice that demonstrates the fusion of mythology and practical decision-making, showing how stories and beliefs can shape the physical world. This careful attention to the land highlights an ethical principle embedded in Icelandic culture, that humans are not the only inhabitants of the earth, and that respecting the unseen or unknown is an essential part of harmonious living. By integrating folklore into real-world actions, Icelanders create a society that values both imagination and responsibility, where the magical and the practical coexist naturally. The influence of the hidden people also extends into social and artistic life. From childhood, Icelanders are introduced to tales of these beings, learning not only about their appearances and habits, but also about their values. The hidden people are often depicted as wise, patient, and protective, emphasizing qualities such as careful observation, respect for others, and a gentle approach to the world. Children imagine them quietly watching over rocks and hills, sometimes interacting with humans in subtle ways, fostering empathy and a sense of connection to a world beyond their immediate perception. Artists and writers continue to draw inspiration from the Huldufolk, creating works that explore themes of invisibility, magic, and coexistence. Paintings, literature, and music often incorporate elements of these stories, blending old tradition with contemporary creativity and allowing both Icelanders and visitors to engage with the folklore in meaningful ways. Another captivating aspect of the hidden people is the way they inspire curiosity and wonder. When people explore Iceland's extraordinary landscapes, volcanic mountains, icy glaciers, hot springs, and flowing rivers, the idea that invisible beings might be living among these natural features adds a layer of enchantment. It encourages individuals to notice the subtleties of nature, the patterns of moss on rocks, the delicate sway of grass in the wind, the shimmer of sunlight on water, and to imagine that these details are watched over and cherished by unseen eyes. This perspective nurtures a sense of respect for the environment and fosters a deeper connection to the natural world. The hidden people remind people that life is more than what is visible and that wonder can be found in the spaces where imagination meets reality. Tourism in Iceland has also been influenced by these beliefs. Visitors often hear stories of the hidden people from guides who share tales of rocks that move mysteriously, unexplained footprints, or unusual sounds in the countryside. These stories make the landscapes feel alive and magical, encouraging tourists to engage with the country in a way that goes beyond sightseeing. They become participants in the folklore, imagining the presence of these beings and seeing ordinary places as extraordinary. The concept of the hidden people adds cultural depth to Iceland, blending folklore with the physical world and offering a lens through which people can experience the country more fully. Finally, the hidden people highlight the enduring power of tradition and imagination. Even in a modern world dominated by science and technology, these stories persist, influencing behavior, inspiring creativity, and shaping cultural identity. They show that folklore is not just about superstition or fantasy, but can provide practical guidance, moral lessons, and emotional connection. By keeping the tales of the hidden people alive, Icelanders honor their heritage, maintain a sense of wonder, and foster a culture that values both the seen and the unseen. In doing so, the Huldufolk remain more than just imaginary beings. They become living symbols of the harmony between humans, nature, and the magic that exists just beyond perception. The hidden people, or Huldufolk, of Iceland offer one of the most enchanting ways to experience the country, turning every hill, rock, and stream into a place of possibility and magic. One of the most striking aspects of these beings is how they transform ordinary landscapes into spaces of wonder. A moss-covered boulder or a secluded cliff is no longer just part of the scenery. It becomes a potential home for an unseen presence, inviting imagination and curiosity. When people walk through Iceland, the belief that the Huldufolk might be watching quietly from their hidden dwellings encourages a deeper awareness of the natural world. It fosters mindfulness, teaching that every detail in the environment, every rustle of grass, every ripple of water, every flicker of sunlight, can hold meaning beyond what is immediately visible. This awareness nurtures respect, patience, and a sense of connection with the world around us, reminding us that life is full of layers that we may never fully understand, but that can still inspire awe and appreciation. The idea that unseen beings inhabit the land has practical implications as well. Many Icelanders, guided by centuries of tradition, make real-world adjustments to avoid disturbing the homes of the hidden people. Roads are sometimes rerouted to preserve a rock or hill that is believed to be inhabited, and construction projects may be modified or delayed to respect these sacred spaces. This integration of folklore with everyday decision-making is a remarkable example of how mythology can influence behavior in tangible ways. It demonstrates that stories and beliefs, even those rooted in imagination, can shape society, guiding people to act with care and responsibility. By honoring the presence of the Huldufolk, Icelanders show a profound respect for both the natural world and the cultural narratives that have been passed down through generations, creating a harmonious balance between the seen and unseen. The influence of the hidden people extends deeply into Icelandic culture and identity. Children grow up hearing tales of these beings, learning about their habits, their wisdom, and their moral lessons. They imagine the Huldufolk moving silently through hills, hiding in rocks, and interacting with humans in subtle ways. This early exposure nurtures creativity, empathy, and a sense of wonder, encouraging children to appreciate the world around them and to consider that there is more than what meets the eye. The stories often emphasize kindness, respect for nature, and careful observation, teaching ethical lessons in a gentle and magical way. As children grow older, these narratives remain part of their cultural consciousness, influencing art, literature, music, and even day-to-day decision making, reinforcing a sense of connection to both nature and heritage. Artists and storytellers continue to draw inspiration from the hidden people, finding in them a timeless source of creativity. Painters depict ethereal figures blending into natural landscapes. Writers craft novels where the Huldufolk interact with humans or influence events in mysterious ways, and musicians compose melodies meant to capture the quiet magic of these beings. Modern filmmakers also explore these legends, blending ancient folklore with contemporary storytelling techniques, ensuring that the magic of the Huldufolk continues to inspire new generations. This ongoing artistic engagement demonstrates the enduring power of folklore, showing how cultural narratives can remain relevant, dynamic, and deeply meaningful even in a world dominated by science, technology, and rational thinking. The stories of the hidden people also encourage visitors to see Iceland differently, inviting them to participate in the folklore imaginatively. Tourists are often captivated by tales of rocks that appear to move, unexplained sounds in the countryside, or footprints that seem impossible to explain. These stories transform ordinary sightseeing into an interactive experience, where the landscape itself becomes a stage for mystery and imagination. The presence of the Huldufolk enriches the natural beauty of Iceland, creating a sense of magic and possibility that makes exploring the country even more unforgettable. It encourages people to observe closely, to imagine boldly, and to recognize that even in a world that often prioritizes the tangible, there is room for wonder, magic, and respect for the unseen. The hidden people are ultimately a symbol of how humans can live in harmony with both nature and imagination. Their stories remind us that life is richer when we acknowledge mystery, cultivate curiosity, and honor the world around us. They teach lessons about coexistence, empathy, and the importance of leaving space for what cannot be seen or easily explained. By embracing the presence of the Huldufolk, Icelanders, and those who visit are reminded that magic is not confined to fairy tales, but can be found in the quiet moments, the hidden spaces, and the extraordinary beauty that surrounds us every day.